Hello and welcome back to the King James Bible Sunday School channel on YouTube and Rumble, and to our day-by-day devotional. This time this year going through the Checkbook of the Bank of Faith, the Checkbook of the Bank of Faith by Charles Spurgeon. And today is December bear with me, the 6th, 2025, December 6th, 2025. And the title from Whitaker House today is Through, Not Engulfed. Through, Not Engulfed. And before we go to that, let's go to our daily Bible reading schedules. First, our yearly schedule. And today's reading is going to be from, it is the entire book of Galatians. The entire book of Galatians. And then on tomorrow would be Ephesians chapters 1, 2, and 3. Now Galatians is 5 chapters, I believe. But yeah, the whole book of Galatians. Then tomorrow Ephesians chapters 1, 2, and 3. Let me just double check Galatians here. Number for chapters. Nope, it's 6 chapters, so it's some short chapters for sure. Comparatively, to be able to read all 6. Ephesians is being broken up into 2 days. It's also 6 chapters, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yep. So, anyway, today, all of Galatians from there. Then we have our 6-month schedule. Alright, 6-month schedule. Today's reading is going to be Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 32 through 64, and chapter 52, finishing up the book of Jeremiah. Then Lamentations chapter 1, and then Hebrews chapter 9, verse 15 through 28, and Hebrews chapter 10. Again, it's Jeremiah 51, verse 32 through 64, Jeremiah 52, and Lamentations chapter 1, and then Hebrews chapters 9, verse 15 through 28, and Hebrews chapter 10. Then on tomorrow will be continuing Lamentations, actually finishing Lamentations with chapters 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's only 5 chapters, Lamentations. And then Ezekiel chapter 1, and then Hebrews chapter 11. So Lamentations chapters 2, 3, 4, and 5. Ezekiel chapter 1, and Hebrews chapter 11. Then we have our 3-month schedule through the New Testament. Today's reading is going to be 2 Corinthians chapters 9, 10, and 11. 2 Corinthians 9, 10, and 11. If you're going through the Old Testament, it'll be Ecclesiastes chapter 9 through the end of the book, and also Song of Solomon. And then Isaiah chapter 4. So from Ecclesiastes 9 through Isaiah 4. And then on tomorrow will be 2 Corinthians chapters 12 and 13. That finishes up 2 Corinthians. Then Galatians chapters 1 and 2. 2 Corinthians 12 and 13, and Galatians 1 and 2. Then the Old Testament, Isaiah chapters 5 through 14. Isaiah 5 through 14. That again gets us through the New Testament and optionally the Old Testament in just 3 months. So if you do have a good hour to spare, even if you just wanted to listen to it, that'd still be. Think about the benefit of that. If you're just able to put it on and listen to it, you may have to do something else, or you are able to sit there and the best thing to be able to do, sit there, read it, and maybe listen to it at the same time. But being able to sit and listen to something and just You know, if you spend half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening, you get it done, and you could be able to witness to other people that you not that you did something great, but that it is something that can be done. Not uh, there are people out there that have this idea that they could um, read through the Bible with with a certain pace and a certain speed, and then they boast about it for themselves. I'm talking about witnessing to somebody else that you can do this when they look at the Bible and think it can't be done. You just you read and we just give up on the Bible all the time because people do that all the time, um, and it's it's just it would be good to have more people saying to others, I can help you with this. This is how you do it. I did it this way, and it would be good to do it that way. And while you do it this way, like you're trying, you're doing this feat of getting through the Bible. And again, let me put it to you a slightly different way, and then we'll get into the devotional. Is if you were determined you're going to read through the Bible um, in 30 days, and you can calculate that out and figure out how long it would take to read it, which is we're just going to say um, if it takes about an hour a day to get through it in 3 months, then 3 hours a day gets you through in 1 month, right? Um, which is approximately correct. There's a variance there, but if you could give up whatever it is that may be keeping you from it, and for 1 month be consistent and find 2 hours at one point and an hour at another point just to divide it up, or 3 straight hours to just listen to the Bible through, listen to it through while you're sitting there reading it, or something to that effect, and just determined to get through it. And and while you do that, also set yourself up for something that you can do more more consistently. You know, uh, it it's not that you're going to know so much more because you did it in 1 month, but the determination of doing it. Then you can tell people, I've read through my Bible, you know, and then it will that doing that in itself actually will encourage you to read through the Bible again. Now, I'm more for read through the Bible carefully and carefully considering what the Bible's saying. That's um, more important than just, you know, especially just a notch that you did the thing. But if you've never read through the Bible and you're like, well, you know, you easily give up or something like that, or you know yourself that you um, read so far and then there's a certain book that you just uh, always fail on, you know, those are the kinds of things, whatever it is, personal to you, that you can make a decision about to, you know, go ahead and um, read it in a different way, you know, to get through it and to push yourself over that seeming obstacle that keeps you from it. Maybe reading it very quickly would be helpful to that. Uh, I, I'm saying this from a point of view of people that will get discouraged from reading their Bible because they don't consistently read through it. They stop somewhere, they make a mistake, they just give up, and then they don't keep going. They don't start back up later on and finish it off, uh, and they get frustrated. And if they start again, it's like, yeah, I started this already. I've already read this, but the way I'm told to read it is, to start in Genesis and just be and go and be consistent. And the inconsistency at some point becomes a problem. But consistency isn't always like an eternal consistency. It's not, I can say this a bunch of different ways, but to be consistent about something and then not continue in that consistency does not mean you cannot start back again and actually be consistent and claim being consistent. I put away those excuses, if you will. Some of you are using it for just excuses to say I'm not going to do it. Some of you are just truly discouraged. Please put away the discouragement. I want to encourage you to read the Word of God. But I've rambled enough about that. Let's go on. Let's get into the devotional today, which is going to be from Isaiah chapter 43 and verse 2. Isaiah 43 and verse 2. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. Again, when thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. Bridge there is none. We must go through the waters and feel the rush of the rivers. The presence of God in the flood is better than a ferry boat. Tried we must be, but triumphant we shall be, for Jehovah himself, who is mightier than many waters, shall be with us. Whenever else, whenever else he may be away from his people, the Lord will surely be with them in difficulties and dangers. The sorrows of life may rise to an extraordinary height, but the Lord is equal to every occasion. The enemies of God can put in our way dangers of their own making, namely persecutions and cruel mockings, which are like a burning fiery furnace. What then? We shall walk through the fires. God being with us, we shall not be burned, nay, not even the smell of fire shall remain upon us. Oh, the wonderful security of the heaven-born and heaven-bound pilgrim. Floods cannot drown him, nor fires burn him. Thy presence, O Lord, is the protection of thy saints from the varied perils of the road. Behold, in faith I commit myself unto thee, and my spirit enters into rest. All right, and since I rambled earlier, I'm not going to ramble now. Again, just want to encourage you. Be in the Word of God. Stay in it. Do what you can. Be as consistent as you can. Be encouraged to get back to it if you've let that go, if you let that slide. Whether days, weeks, or months, or even years. Some of you haven't read the Bible in years, and you felt like you were doing good before. You haven't tried to do anything of a Bible reading program. Not that you haven't even read the Bible at all in years, but you haven't tried anything like reading through the Bible. And I hope that you're encouraged to do that. I said I wasn't going to ramble, and I'm not anymore anyway. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow for another day-by-day devotional. Bye.